grew up in South Seattle. Many of you know my story. Irish Catholic boy. I did not love Jesus. I loved baseball and girls and being left alone. That was my trinity. And I was the moral guy. So I wouldn't drink, I wouldn't smoke, I wouldn't do drugs. I was the moral, tried to be the good guy. That was kind of my MO. And not being a Christian, I didn't really understand Jesus. And I'm not saying that Catholics aren't Christians. There are some Catholics who love Jesus and are Christians. My mom was one. My mom was a Catholic lady who loved Jesus. She now goes to Mars Hill and still loves Jesus. So I haven't ruined it or anything, but you know what I'm saying. So, so I'm not speaking ill of Catholics. Some Catholics love Jesus. I just wasn't one. And then in my teen years, I got bored, and I was like, church, yeah, I'm not interested. Stopped going to church. And then I graduated, got a scholarship, was going to college, and thought, you know what? I've never really, done what guys are supposed to do, drink beer and chase women and disobey the commandments. So I'm going to do that. So what am I going to do? Join a frat. That's what I'll do. I'll join a frat, and I'll be a frat guy. That'll be my thing. I'll drink and chase women and call that college. That seems to be what you do. And so I joined a frat, and the first week we had the big blowout welcome back to school frat party, my first frat party, and I'm looking forward to it. And again, I've never drank, and this is going to be a whole new world for me. So I'm standing, the door is open going into the frat party, and I'm standing there seeing all these young women, and here's the beer, and I'm ready to walk into literally a whole new life, one I've never been in, never been a party guy or anything. And I'm ready to go. And I didn't know it was Jesus because I didn't know Jesus at the time, but it was Jesus. He came to me as prophet. He didn't speak, but I had this total knot in my stomach, and I knew I'm not supposed to go in there. That is not for me. I need to get out of here. And so I left. I never even made it to my first frat party. I never even had my first beer. I didn't even doodle my first highlighter, nothing. And I left, and I'm like, what am I going to do now? I joined the frat to drink and meet women, and for some reason, I can't go. So I went to the library. It's the only other thing open that I could find. And in there are all these guys with real majors, because I'm a speech comm guy, right? It's like, I got to cram to talk. Not really. You just sort of show up and talk, I mean, if you could talk, you could get a degree. So I went for that degree. But anyways, in there are guys that are like engineering degrees and math majors and I mean, these guys are legit. They can add and stuff. I mean, they're a whole other breed of cat. So they're all in the library, and I'm sitting in the library going, what am I going to do now? I for some reason, I don't feel right about going to the frat and getting drunk and meeting girls. Like, I was thinking maybe there was something seriously wrong with me. I needed professional help. And I realized at that time, I got to move out of the frat. I can't do this. So I stayed at the library till it was pretty late and the party had died down. I went home and just crashed in the frat. I got up early the next day to go for a walk and figure out what I'm going to do. I got up and God came to me. Jesus did as prophet and just convicted me. This is not what you're going to be doing. Okay, again, I'm not a Christian yet. I don't know God. I believe God was pursuing me, but I didn't have all of it worked out. So I decided, okay, that's it. I got to move out of the frat. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to be that guy. The next week, my pledge class got arrested and went to jail. I got out just in time. So I'm in dorm world. I'm sitting in dorm land. And all of a sudden, Jesus starts coming to me. I didn't know it was Jesus, as Preist. And I get this desire to start reading the Bible, which I had no desire to read the Bible. Now I'm reading the Bible, and I start realizing who Jesus is and that I'm a sinner and that he lived and died and rose and he's God. And I started feeling convicted of sin and pride and desires in my heart. And okay. And I got saved. Jesus made me a Christian there. He was preparing me, working on me. He came to me as prophet. Stop, repent, turn around, get out, danger, go somewhere else. Okay. And then he came to me as priest. I'll forgive you. I'll change you. I'll walk with you. I'll give you mercy, encouragement, help. I'll be your friend. I mean, I didn't have any friends. I didn't know anybody. And all of a sudden, Jesus comes alongside as a friend, as a priest, to encourage. And I'm reading the Bible. Now I love reading the Bible, and I'm learning about Jesus. And then it started to dawn on me that Jesus is king. I started thinking, okay, what does this mean for my major? I'm a speech major. I guess I'm preaching now. What does this mean for my work ethic? What does this mean for my money? I need to start tithing. And what does this mean for my schedule? Now I need to go to church and get in a Bible study. What does this mean for my relationship. Grace, who's now my lovely wife, we met at 17, and this time I was 19, and I wanted to marry her. I loved her. Still do. And I thought, well, we need to have a Christian relationship, and I need to marry her, and I need to be a Christian husband, and then I want to make a lot of babies. I love kids. I want to be a Christian daddy. What does that mean? And now I'm realizing this affects everything, my income, my work ethic, my sexuality, my friendships, my schedule, my dating relationship. It's going to affect my marriage, my kids, my politics, my ethics. Jesus is over everything. I got to look at everything in my whole life and figure out, okay, how does this connect to Jesus now that I'm a Christian?